Hello and welcome to Homestead Imaginations. I am Josh and today is our August garden review. So I didn't do one in July and I'm barely making it in August. By the time I post this, it probably will be September. Definitely by the time I actually post this video. I've been getting my butt kicked, absolutely kicked by everything going on, all the projects I've taken on this summer, trying to expand, trying to get everything established. Garden did all right, definitely some downfalls. We'll start here. Broccoli, all bolted like real early in the year, and then I was able to harvest some broccoli, but I planted, I think it was like 5 broccoli. I think 6 or 7 total actually broccoli plants. We're really big fans of broccoli and my son really wanted the broccoli and it all bolted. So I've got shade cloths for next year and basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this 10 by 10 garden and this 10 by 10 garden, and I'm going to be turning them into like my leafy greens and my broccoli and cauliflower, anything that really likes a cooler temp. And I'm gonna put shade cloths over this and keep everything that grows in here at a much cooler temperature so that way they grow better. And then that is gonna be the main garden. I started it this year just to get stuff planted because I overseeded a bunch of different things. And then I'd planned on putting the pumpkin, watermelon, melon, and corn out there. So that's just to get started, but that garden is going to go all the way down, pretty far down. I think I'm going to do like 100 feet. It's like 20 feet wide. It's going to be at least probably 100 feet long, if not longer. That's going to be the main garden, so a lot of stuff will be grown in that, but at least these 2 smaller gardens with the fenced area is going to be like the leafy green stuff that needs to be cold. Peppers did all right, but they are getting way too much shade, so they're not doing the best. Got some jalapenos, but the bell peppers are starting to come through. The green, these are yellow beans. These did really well until basically like I kind of got way behind and hadn't harvested, and then they kind of like stopped producing, so I think I let them get too big. I don't know if green beans or yellow beans are one of those plants where if you let it completely get to maximum size, it then tells the plant, hey, we've succeeded in our mission this year and we can stop growing things. So I don't know if that is the case or if it's just like low neglect. Some of the soil got pulled up, so it's a little exposed, so that's also not great. The wind completely pushed all these up against the fence and damaged some of the branches, but these still produced like crazy. Like we got tons of cherry tomatoes, way too many cherry tomatoes. Our butternut squash really didn't do too much this year. The cucumbers, I barely was able to keep up with watering on any of our plants, so you can't even see it, but like the cucumber started in this corner and then like grew along, but since it's died, it's done producing. But I didn't water it. You can kind of see it down here too. I didn't water the gardens very well at all. Every time, when I have free time, like I'm trying to get other things established that needs to get done in a sooner time frame or just get built in. Most of the time has been spent on the chicken coop during the summer, and then during the spring it was all that. And well, actually mulching and getting everything covered for the fruit trees, that actually I didn't finish that until like mid-July. So I've been super busy, got way behind on everything. So this garden is completely been taken over by weeds. So I used like chopped leaves as like a mulch, which did work really well, and I did like that that aspect of it covering it. And in the spring, the soil was super healthy and everything looked really good. There was tons of worms, tons of like bug life in the soil, but it looks like as time went on, the leaves got consumed and then it kind of left this exposed. So what I'm going to try and do is move to more of a wood chips. I'm going to try and use wood chips primarily as like a mulch covering. Here's our raspberry bushes. These did really well this year. Those are all like brand new canes. Those are Boyne variety. These I don't even know what it is, but it's like a spider web. It just grows canes out from one centerpiece, where the Boyne seems to send up a whole new shoot every year. So that's now finally established. So next year we should get a good amount of raspberries. I just finished this, yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday I just finished this. I just put the border around the asparagus. We have 3 different kinds of asparagus, so I wanted to put a border up. One to have like a nice walkway in between each one, but mainly the borders for stopping them from hopefully growing every which way, because asparagus will just grow. So I'm hoping that's deep enough to stop the asparagus from growing outside of these trenches. If not, I'll just have to, take it out anyway. But that's the goal with those. Plus it does make it look a little bit nicer than just straight run of wood chips, because that is mulched with wood chips. Blueberry plants, we got 2 new ones. They both really suffered after transplant. This one is actually coming back. It's got brand new green growth, but it had lost all its leaves. This one is, I don't know, that might be a goner. Nothing is coming back, so I don't know if it just didn't like the shock of where it got put. These blueberries we planted in the spring, they're doing all right. They really didn't do great. I'm assuming it probably has to do with maybe the pH level, or maybe just even nutrients, because I did plant these in this section right by the deck is all sand, like just pure sand. So it just may have not had enough water, enough nutrients to really do well. So I have mulched it now, and I'll have to keep mulching this for a few years to build up some actual good soil. Over here we harvested our onions already. They did really well. Was excited about that. This is sweet potatoes. Those are doing really well. Super healthy, growing long vines all over the place, all the way down and around. So they're doing great. So that should be good produce. We harvested the potatoes. They're kind of small, like they're usable, but they're on the smaller side. Again, like the soil wasn't covered, so it's not very rich soil. It's very dried out, just soil, not much nutrients. So I'm hoping to mulch this, cover this up, and get some growth back in here. Probably try and grab, if I see any worms, throw some worms in here as well. But I want to compost the top layer here and then mulch it and cover it up. This is a little bonus plant. I don't even know what this is and where it came from, but I've just let it go. But this was our garlic. We harvested the garlic as well. So this bed is completely empty for now, and it'll stay empty until like October when I start more garlic. But I will be composting because it definitely needs it. Here we harvested all our beets. Those were much smaller than last year, like half the size, and I waited like a month longer before I harvested them. So those, again, I think with my raised beds, I needed to really compost and do a better job of mulching. So like mulch here, I had like grass clippings that I used, which I definitely don't want to use grass clippings anymore because they bring a lot of weeds with them and different stuff like that. So it was a nightmare to deal with. So I need to compost and mulch better. So I'm getting better with that. But this year I just didn't have time to really tackle a lot of this nitty gritty. Weeds are atrocious all around the gardens. Let's see, we didn't get any arugula. We barely got any salad bowl lettuce. I think we got one thing of romaine lettuce. And then what else did we, spinach. We didn't get any spinach either. Everything, like all the leafy greens bolted like early, because it went right from like spring right into like hot summer, like 80s, 90 degrees. And everything just immediately bolted before I could do anything about it. Oh, there's actually some broccoli over here on this side that I can actually harvest. Sticking right out, grew right out through the fence. Here's our strawberry beds. Those did great this year. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 filled strawberry beds. There's about 17 plants roughly in each one, and those did really well. And this one, I just planted this spring. This is an ever-bearing one, so we're actually, this is, I think it's first strawberry, yeah. It's pretty ripe, and it's ripening pretty quick because it wasn't ripe earlier when I had done this. I put this in earlier because, again, it wasn't mulch, so the soil is really beat up. So I'll be focusing, big thing is focusing on getting more composting. That was another thing that, like, I got better with it last year, but not enough. It's still not doing great. Our eggplant only produced one eggplant. We do have another one in here that's flowering, so that might grow us some eggplants. We'll see. This garden is not very well. Like, I tilled it a little bit and then just threw topsoil on top, and that was pretty much it. So this is not a very good garden. It is definitely a giant mess, honestly. But I've got some bonus things in here, some extra peppers, something's eating the tomato there, and then we got some extra tomatoes. The watermelons died immediately as soon as we put them out here this year, and then the cucumbers, or not cucumbers, the hearts of gold melon, they grew, the plant grew, but not very big. Like straight down right here is the vine for that, and it didn't produce like anything. Like, I don't think it started growing any fruit, but the vine barely even grew. But the pumpkin's doing well. You got pumpkin right here. I got two kinds. Well, yeah, two kinds. I have a I tried planting a jack-o'-lantern. That died as soon as we put it out here, because everything we put out here, the soil wasn't great, and like those types of plants we put out here, and the roots weren't big enough. Like, I kept them in tiny little trays, and they didn't have enough time to actually grow good roots to actually be able to come out and then not get damaged by the sun. So there's another one. There's a little butternut squash. So pumpkins did all right after they rebounded. I lost both my jack-o'-lanterns I tried starting, and then I got starts from my neighbors, and he's not even sure what kind of variety they are. They were bonus plants out of their compost that started growing, so I kept them. And then I have sugar pie pumpkins, which we've got a couple of those that are growing. So it was good for like making like pumpkin pie and stuff. So I have those. The corn did all right. Decent size, nothing huge. Definitely could be bigger, but like it at least grew. So looking forward to eating that. We're probably going to harvest most of this corn on the next couple days and actually have it for dinner. And then these three here were Japanese, I forget the variety, but they're a Japanese kind, and they're Japanese something, but they're a popcorn. So I was going to use those three to do popcorn with, but deer definitely ate like the tops of, like the deer, not that this fence is very tall, they could have gotten into the garden, but they only came to like the edge apparently and just ate like all the tops off the corn that we had there. Let's see, what else? We've got, the fruit trees are doing really good. They're all growing great. I planted some sunflowers. We've got rhubarb, 2 out of 5 survived. That are in this area. We got 2 black currants that survived. We lost 2 red currants. I lost my pink champagne currant because I accidentally ran it over with the mower because of the weeds. I didn't see it because of the weeds, and I was just in a rush trying to mow and make everything get done. So the trees are doing well. No issues with any of the trees, even the ones the Japanese beetles devoured, which were like the cherry trees. They've all rebounded and starting to grow. The deer are starting to eat the fruit trees, like especially the apple. They're definitely focusing on the apple trees, eating like a lot of the branches. So there's some damage to that, but they're growing well. Everything's put on new growth and done great. So that's my next project that I'm starting to work on now, is putting in the fence for this area, which I've got marked out all these little, I don't think the camera's not really picking up, but all these posts or these sticks, that's roughly the estimate of where the posts are gonna go for the fence, and we're gonna put up a fence. My goal is to hopefully have that done before winter. The grapes struggled. They got out here maybe early June. It was definitely later than I wanted, but I couldn't get to them. But they struggled, like almost all of them like lost their leaves, and they really got down to like nothing. And they're starting to come back finally. Like this one's doing really well. This was one of the stronger ones to start with, but it's actually growing. Like it took forever for it to actually put on new growth and actually do something. So it's taken a while, but it's finally going. So it looks like we definitely have 2 solid ones, but hopefully we might have like 6. We definitely lost one permanently. That completely died. And then another one that's pretty much dead. So we went from having 8 down to 6, and even some of the other ones, they're kind of small, so I don't know if they're going to make it through the winter or even make it through the rest of the season. This is a kiwi plant, which this one is such a like huge like success story for itself. It was dead. It lost all its leaves. It had no new growth. It wasn't doing anything. And then I brought it outside, and I took worm compost or worm castings and put it on top and just watered it, and it did great. It came right back to life, and now it's got like a ton of huge growth, so that's doing great. And then over here, these are blackberries that I transplanted that I found at the end of our road. They were wild and they just didn't do well. Like we got a couple growths where they came up, but they really didn't do anything. The canes from last year didn't produce any fruit, but even when we checked the whole patch, like there was a huge field of this, it didn't do anything. No blackberry bushes out there grew any blackberries, so I don't know what's going on or why they didn't produce this year. But so they're most likely getting replaced. If they don't do anything next year, I'm going to rip those out, but I've already ordered 2 blackberry varieties to come in. This is my elderberry, which is getting attacked by something, probably deer. These started off great, were growing really well in the beginning in the spring, and then they just stopped growing. Like they've stayed green, they stayed healthy, but like they just stopped growing. I think this whole line right here was filled with trees, and you can see some stumps here that literally by like 2 o'clock 1 o'clock, by the time the sun came up around here, it'd be blocked by like probably that tree, and then like the rest of the day all the way until like nighttime, like as the sun's setting, then it would get sun again. So I just cut down all the trees to hopefully give them more sun, so that way they stay healthy and hopefully make it to next year. They're not looking good, but I did order 2 more of another variety, because I guess having multiple varieties helps its yield. So I did do that, so that's in process of getting those. That's it. That's pretty much all of the stuff that we grew this year. We had a lot of setbacks, a lot of it due to just being way too busy trying to keep up with everything else that I've tried to undertake this year. Putting in the orchard was just a huge time thing that I underestimated drastically, and then putting in the chicken coop and building the chicken run and getting the chickens established, like that took way longer than I thought that would take either. So I've spent a ton of time this summer just trying to get all this new stuff in, so I haven't been able to maintain. So this year was really a real kick in the gut, like just massive defeat really overall. Besides like the fact that like I have all this new stuff that I've put in, there is a lot of loss. There is a lot of just not doing great at keeping up with things. So the garden really suffered. We really didn't get a whole lot of produce this year. We did get a lot of tomatoes, which those are doing great. That was awesome because we didn't get any tomatoes last year. So there were some wins. There was definitely things I did better, but if when it comes to actually maintaining the garden and watering it and keeping up on it, of weeds and all that stuff, I did terrible at. I didn't spend any time or any focus, any priority on trying to maintain what I already had. My goal and focus this whole summer so far has been putting in the new stuff and getting ready for new stuff. Back there, let's see, there it is. I put in 2 more compost bins. There's my finger. So these 2 right here, those are brand new. I just put those in. So now I have 4 compost bins, and I'm gonna be looking at, if I have time, I'll try and put in more if I can get more pallets. But if not, then definitely the goal next year will be to put in a lot more compost bins. Like, I really need a lot, as I found out with all these raised beds and all my gardens. Like, the soil is really getting beat up. I really need to compost it, feed the soil, and then mulch it better. So I'm getting a what's it called, a chipper. I'm getting in a chipper, and all the trees I cut down, I've already dragged over to a spot. I'm gonna start chipping all that, and hopefully, I'm hoping with all the dead trees that are on the property, I start cutting those down. I can chip all the stuff I would need for wood chips to mulch everything, especially for this, like in between here, in between all the fruit tree rows. Like, this is all going to be filled in with wood chips. Like, I'm going to compost each section in between and then lay more wood chips like I have here. So like, there's cow manure and straw mixed together all in here, and then on top of it I put the wood chips. So, and then as you can see, like, the weeds are just growing up like crazy along the edges because I can't mow that. So I want to cover this whole area. I don't want any grass in here. I want to be able to constantly feed this whole growing area, because I plan on having stuff growing the entire space. When the fence gets put in, because the fence is going to go from our deck here all the way around to everything right to the front here. So our entire garden, our entire orchard will be fenced in. And so hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, it will stop the deer. Hopefully it also stops like the rabbits and stuff from getting in and trying to eat anything. So my goal is to compost like crazy and try and turn my hard, crappy clay soil into rich, perfect to grow in soil. And then in between each tree and these rows is going to be growing food for the most part. Like, I'm going to be putting in a lot of different stuff. Like, there's red currants, black currants, there's raspberries, there's, here I have some sunflowers and stuff. Rhubarb, I think I already said rhubarb, but those kind of things, gooseberries, stuff like that, I'm going to be growing in these rows with the trees. And then I'll probably set up like raised beds or something in this section maybe. Like, I'm not sure, like every year I'm just going to keep adding and keep expanding. But I've got a lot of rows. I've got 8 rows to fill with tons of stuff. And I'm trying to make the orchard all perennial stuff that I don't have to worry about. It'll just come back every year. So it's not stuff I have to constantly plant. But this will be all filled with different stuff. So I want to get this entire area growing. And even on the fence, I'm going to be utilizing the fence. Next year I'm going to be trying to grow the watermelons, all the vine plants, grapes. I'm getting some more grapes. I will be trying to utilize the fence, the sugar snap peas, cucumbers, all that kind of stuff that needs to grow up like a trellis or something. I'm going to be trying to grow along on the fence. So that is what we've got going on here. Again, it's been a fun year, a very productive year. I've gotten so much done, so much added. I'm so excited for the future and can't wait. I'm still going to be just trying to crush as much as I can leading up until it gets too cold to really be doing anything with the soil. But that's everything. So a little bit, it's an exciting summer, but also a disappointing summer because of all the failures and the neglect that I have been with my gardens. So, but next year I'm not trying to add anything new. I'll be adding like some new bushes, some new stuff like that, but it'll be small. I'm not gonna be adding it. I don't need to add in a massive orchard. I don't even need to add in the compost and then the wood chips anytime soon. So I'm going to just focus on maintaining. Focus on maintaining the gardens that I have and focusing on making sure that my plants are healthy. I'm tending to them, and if there's any issues, I see it up front and I can take care of it, because that did not happen this year. So that is the goal. Next year is going to be a very minimal year. I think the only thing that I'm going to be adding that will be like totally brand new, besides just adding some stuff in, new stuff to plant, is probably meat chickens. I think that's the only thing I'm going to be adding. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, that is our summer so far. That's our garden, how it's looking right now. There's not a whole lot left to harvest. Things are pretty much winding down here in New York. So, and I didn't do a fall garden because I'm so busy with all these projects, and the fence is literally going to be taking every waking minute. And I'm hoping I can get it done before it gets too cold to drill holes in the ground and, you know, be able to be outside and do all this stuff. So we'll see. Thank you for watching. Let me know any struggles you guys have had this year, any wins, because again, this year was filled with lots of wins but also lots of losses. So I guess that's how it goes, but next year we're going to focus on just a lot of wins. So alright, thank you for watching. Comment down below and subscribe so you can continue watching this journey, and I will catch you next time. Keep the imagination rolling. Bye bye.